CGTN, China Global Television Network.
Anybody who's going to a business is taking a risk from day one. It's our job to understand the situation, to understand the market, to bring in a service. If one idea does not work, we move to the next one. That's what entrepreneurs are all about.
The issues of climate change will affect everybody, and I think it's important that every single one of us should take part in fighting the virus, in ensuring that we introduce alternatives to charcoal in this country. I feel we owe it to the future generation, and we owe it to ourselves to ensure that our forests are protected.
In Africa, business opportunities present themselves in many different forms. The recent African Economic Outlook report revealed that 22% of the continent's working age population is starting new businesses, the highest rate of any region in the world. The entrepreneurial spirit is very much alive, but an individual's drive to succeed is born from personal circumstances, making every African entrepreneur unique.
When you are an entrepreneur, you love challenge. So that's who I am as a person. I love challenging myself. I love bringing new ideas to the table and hear what people are thinking about it, and then try them, actually bring them to life, and then see how people respond to it.
Have all the documents.
In this story, we follow the journeys of two African entrepreneurs and explore the factors that influenced their career choices.
To hear the story of Soul Rebels, the journey, the ups and the downs, that's going to inspire people, I think, by itself. It's a story that people are going to tell to somebody else. I'm working every day for my own success, but if that is going to be a positive impact on somebody, I would be happy to share it.
There's a lot of talk around climate change, and we cannot leave this fight to the government alone. As far as I'm concerned, private citizens should begin to take part. When you are driving around Lusaka, you see trucks laden with charcoal, a lot of charcoal, and then you know our forests are really being decimated out there.
After years of famine and civil unrest preventing development, things are finally changing in the East African country of Ethiopia. Industries such as textiles, agriculture, and aviation have rebounded, and the economy is growing. Now a safe and stable state, Ethiopia is leading the continent into a new age of prosperity, providing opportunities for those willing to take advantage of them.
This is changing, and that's a given. Everybody who are coming, they are like, wow, how did that happen in a short period of time? 10 years ago, the infrastructure that we had back in the day and now is completely different. We have roads that have access to different places, and we have a better internet connection. So I don't have to go knock somebody's door in the middle of the night to check my email anymore. It's in my hand. So those are the changes that I see.
ወጥቼ መስራት አስብ ነበረ ግን እዚህ ያለው ነገር ደግሞ አሪፍ ነገር አገኘው ከዛ በዚህ አሪፍ ነገር ተጠቀምኩበት ማለት ነው
የጋና እንትን አደረኩት ባንዲራ ውስጡ ግሪን ከሆነ ይሄኛው ግሪን ሲከፈት አንድ አይነት እንዲሆን ማለት ነው
38-year-old Bethlehem Tilahu Alemu is an Ethiopian businesswoman and the founder of Soul Rebels, a footwear company.
I grew up with a very talented community, and when I go to school, I have seen these people working day and night, but their life is stuck in the same place. I always watch my father going to work in the morning. When he come back, he's so tired. And I always ask my dad, so you're working every day like this, how much are you earning? And he always tells me, I'm earning a small amount of money, but I have to go to these places to work. When I go to college, I don't want to work like my dad for nothing.
Her community and culture inspired her, turning what she already knew into a business.
The people around me who have this talent of spinning, weaving, embroidering do not have any market to get enough food to their table. So that's what triggers Soul Rebels. And that's how I started with 5 people, 2004, long time ago. And it was a very amazing journey for me. The idea of Soul Rebels comes from the tire. That's why we call ourselves Soul Rebels. Back in the days, people were wearing a simple flip-flops made out of tires. It's called Ferbasso. So that was the idea clicked to our head when we started the Soul Rebels product. The first pair of shoes, because I didn't know how to cut the tires. Basically, it was an idea. And the tired shoe that people were wearing was really flat, looked like comfortable. I never tried it. But when we bring in the tires, we bring in the full tire and try to cut them. And then when we do the simple flip-flop, each pair, each foot weighted 3 kilos. And my family was laughing like it's a walking gym that you created. It's not a footwear. So that's how we started. It's a funny beginning.
While Bethlehem's beginning may have been funny, as she puts it, for Fraser Handondo, his business venture was born out of necessity.
Well, I grew up in a village about 80 kilometers west of Lusaka Central Business District. It was quite nice growing up there. The time I was there, we had very good trees everywhere, massive trees. Our rivers were flowing. And I know the importance of, the natural ecosystem. I've seen little kids pick up an axe and, cut down a 100-year-old tree. And that really tells me that we are in trouble. I felt touched, and I knew that, this is a moment for me, to begin taking a small step. And I told myself, we've got to start doing something about this and create a change, a paradigm shift in people's minds.
Like Addis Ababa, Lusaka is amongst Africa's fastest growing cities.
You can see a lot of buildings popping up, a lot of development happening. So, I've gone up here and you can see a lot of change.
Though not in his line of profession, Fraser, who is a career procurement specialist, founded Forest Africa, a startup that makes eco-friendly briquettes out of the need to address issues to do with conservation. Fraser's idea has come at an ideal time. Zambia is famed for its natural beauty, drawing tourists from around the world and generating millions of dollars a year for the economy. But this is under threat, as the country is facing an illegal charcoal epidemic, as almost 300,000 hectares of forest are lost a year. Sean Davey is an ecologist and entrepreneur who has been living in Zambia for 9 years. Through his work, he's been exposed to a number of environmental and industrial sectors.
There's been massive deforestation in the Lower Zambezi National Park because guys are charcoaling, and that charcoal goes direct to satisfy the charcoal market. Most of the stuff that you see that we've been flying over that was before was bush, and if it wasn't the bush, it was farmland. Now most of the city is taken up, creeping out into the outskirts of Lusaka. It's one of the top 10 urbanizing cities on the continent, so that means that it's probably one of the top 10 urbanizing places in the world at the moment. So what they do is they cut down a lot of trees, and that affects the salability of the national park as a tourism destination.
Vincent Ziba studies food and agriculture for the United Nations in Zambia and is concerned about the impact the illegal charcoal industry is having on the environment.
Zambia depends on a larger extent on the wood fuel for cooking, for heating water, unlike other sources. One of the major sources we have is hydroelectric, but hydroelectric as it stands now only provides for just about 10% of the population. Majority of Zambians depend on wood fuel, of which charcoal is one of the major source of energy that we have. So in terms of its impact, charcoal in many cases has been done illegally and not user-friendly to the environment, and hence has got negative impacts to the environment, leading to deforestation.
With few energy alternatives available, the Zambian population is forced to rely on charcoal as a major energy source. Fraser Handondo is focused to provide a safe and clean source of energy.
Right, so we're going to the farm now. The farm is just about, just under 30 kilometers from the central business district of Lusaka. We'll be there not too long from now. It's quite near, the road is not that bad. People chop down trees to make the traditional lamp charcoal, all right? And so all we're trying to do is to show that there is a sustainable alternative. We do not need to cut down these trees. We've got a baobab tree and gives us this magnificent fruit. And from this fruit, we are able to make a charcoal briquette that still delivers the same level of energy that you can use to cook and warm your food and all those kind of things. We've got harvesters in different parts of this country, primarily the southern part and the eastern part of Zambia. So we go to villages and we bring it to the factory. So when it comes, it's a whole fruit. I'm going to talk to you about this amazing fruit, the baobab fruit, also called mavuyu. In most African countries, it's a very nutritious fruit, and it comes out of this huge, massive tree called the tree of life, the baobab tree itself. And I'm going to show you today how we convert this into an eco-friendly charcoal briquette. This is the dehairing process. You can see the ladies here quite busy dehairing these fruits. We have to dehair because these fruits are covered in these velvet hairs and they do attract dust and they are a bit itchy. So we want to avoid them mixing with our final product. So it's very important for the sake of the consumers to make sure that this process is thoroughly done. This is one fruit which has been well dehaired. I can show you a comparison of the two fruits. So you can see the difference between these two fruits. One has been dehaired, the other one is not dehaired, and you can see the green velvety hairs here. It's very important that we reach to this particular stage for the next process to kick in. Hello, mwasene sabyani? All right, itokwenda bokabo twinchito. Mtokirina kirinaka. All right. We have the haired fruit here with me, and what we do on these tables is that we've got to crack them open. You can see the guillotines that have been attached to these tables. These are very, very useful for the cracking process. So what the ladies here are doing, which is a very important piece, is the cleaning out process. Wow, you can see, I think you could actually give me this one. So you can see that this is a very hard shell. You can see how hard it is to crack this shell, all right? And for you to access the content, you've got to break it in this manner and then be able to remove the seeds from here. Now, you can see that we've got these fibers inside the fruit. It's very important that the ladies take their time to clean it up. In the process of cracking, you can see there are some of these shells, little shells like this. They've got to clean that up for the next process. What we do is extract the fruit inside. Once the extraction process is done, we take it for milling, all right, to be able to separate the powder from the seed. Once you separate the powder, all right, and the seed, you've got then to sieve the powder so that it becomes fine, all right, really the consistency of powdered milk.
Deni chiteni yatu ni abwino maningi matandiza ku bantu bakulu ku bana then na ku matenda yenangu ya imatandiza maningi ero imapasa mpamvu so I powder muntu aliyense ni abwino kudya kusanganiza kuva kuti vili vonse pamene sanganizeko.
After that, which means the powder is ready, then what happens to the shell? So that is the part now where the briquetting comes in. So once the shell is done, we take it for carbonization.
So ngati tachosako makambacha na eve futi stima taya tima asilenzesa tima tenga tima pereka mchigayo tagaya tikasiliza tipanga ko marasha.
To most people, this will be waste, but not for us. What we've done is we've taken it a notch further. We are converting these shells into charcoal briquettes. So what we do from here is that we carbonize them. So as you ignite them, you leave them there. Actually, in the drum behind me, we have carbonized shells already, and a lot of it is actually sitting there where we are processing and milling it into a powder. Okay, so what we have here is a heap of carbonized shells. You'll notice that some of them still retain their shape after the carbonization process. So after these are thoroughly dry, we mill them in this milling machine into what we call charcoal powder. So after the milling process that you've just witnessed, we bag the charcoal dust in this manner. In this case, we've got these 550 kg bags that we've packed here. for it to bind, it needs a glue, all right, to hold it together during the molding process. And that glue that we use is what you are seeing here, this white stuff. This is cassava. Cassava is a tuber. It's used for human consumption, but it's also used for this purpose, as a glue in briquette making. What we have here is a boiling pot of cassava porridge. This will be used as a binder in our molding process. We're actually using our own briquettes to boil this entire pot. So let me now show you what we actually do with this porridge that we're cooking here in the mixing process.
Zina ndinaro Dimumba. Okay, nasebenza for 6 years pa kampani. Munga mukwemba kupunzira kwanga job sinenze kusiba po chiri chonse. But your boss ndiyo ananipunzisa inchito. Yantandizira mu njira zosiyana kulingana munga mwamene nkalira na family nitenga ndrama bwino palibevu pankala palibevu to ili yonse.
All right, so you can see Harold here busy mixing. So what you are seeing here is a mixture of our charcoal dust and our cassava porridge. And of course, you have to add in a little bit of water to make sure that the consistency is right. So after this, I think it's sort of about to get ready. Usually, if you can try and mold it with your hand there, it's almost ready. And then it's now ready for pressing in the extruder there.
Munga hapa ni mwamene munga mwamene mwakambira because hivi vintu vingatandizire mu bantu bosiyana munga mwamete chitira ni bantu bambire bamene bangapunzire munga kuri inchito.
Aya malasha ni abwino maningi yatandiza maningi ero ni malasha amene siyasira fast yanga nkano 24 hours yaya akapambaula.
So as you can see from the molding process, we've got to dry these briquettes. And they take about 2 to 3 days for them to thoroughly dry and ready for use. You'll be able now to see that the process is very natural. No tree has been harmed in the making of these briquettes. From the baobab fruit that we showed you initially to this packed with energy and ready for use.
Munga mwamene ninga kambira ni chintu cha bwino maningi because munga hapa tipunzisa bantu na hivi kuti basazijua mitengo. Nini na hivi tinabwera tamba kukonka so chabe mpaka kufika pali ino time tiuzinga pamene hivi because olonkani yojua mitengo pali ino time tinasira.
Yati olongati ufuna kuti utandizike kuti ushokeche malasha chiteni chiche chimozi chenzo tengo lopena mu 6 months. Era futi ngati wamboswenzerapo chezeko na dust icha yamenezo chita unkala kuna chifuba na chimfine kuchavaso ero na chusi chaka ena futi sichenzo vesa bwino.
When he was looking for equipment to produce his new briquettes, instead of looking abroad, Fraser turned to local talent.
Well, he came with an idea, and then we sat down, scribbled something, came up with a design. Though it's the first time that we're doing this kind of equipment. We have these wastes that are coming out of the process. We have the back. So we want to see if we can briquette this and make charcoal. And that's how we actually designed that briquetting machine that they are using there. If we find a market, we would actually make a lot of them and sell. But at the moment, we don't have a market.
While Fraser's process of making briquettes seems taxing, Bethlehem's Soul Rebels production is skill-driven.
ስሜ ሮቤል ታደሰ ይባላል። የምኖረው አዲስ አበባ ውስጥ ነው። ልዩ ስሙ አየር ጤና ተብሎ በሚጠራው አካባቢ ነው። ሶል ሬበልስ ሳገባ በፊት ምንም አልሰራም ነበር፣ ተማሪ ነበርኩ። ከዛ ትምህርት እንደጨረስኩ እዚህ ገባሁ። ከዛ በፊት ምንም የሚሰራው ስራ የለም ነበር።
ስሜ ሜሮን መስፍን ነው። ሶል ሬበልስ ከገባሁ 10 ዓመት ሞልቶኛል። የምሰራውን መቆጣጠር ነው። አዎ ብዙ ነገር ተቀይሯል። እንደ በፊቱ አይደለም። ሁሉም ወጣት ይማራል፣ ይሰራል። ስለዚህ እንደ ድሮ ቤት ውስጥ የሚውል ያለ ሰው አይመስለኝም። ሁሉም የራሱን ነገር ለመንቀሳቀስ ይሮጣል ያገኛል።
እሰራለሁ፣ አማራለሁ። ከእንደገና ደግሞ ቤተሰቦቼን እደግፋለሁ በተለያዩ ነገር ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ ብዙ ለውጦችን እያየሁ ነው በራሴ ላይ ማለት።
አንደኛ በእጅ ነው የሚሰራው። ሁለተኛ ደግሞ ኢትዮጵያ ብዙም የምትታወቅበት ነገር የለም። ስለዚህ የእጅ ዲዛይን መሆን ጎልቶ ያሳያቸዋል ብዬ አስባለሁ።
የምሰራበት የስራ ፊልድ ደግሞ ፍሮዛ የሚባለው ኢቪ ይባላል ወይም ማለት የጫማውን የታችኛው ፓርቱን የምሰራው።
It's a step-by-step process to be able to understand what Soul Rebels is all about and then to deliver that on time. So to lose one person for us is very, very difficult because we have to train them probably for a year to be able to have these skills. We have about 80 women who are doing the spinning inside their home. The thread is going to become some kind of fabric. We're going to take the fabric and then make different color. So we always have online orders like this one. So as soon as we get them, we're going to create a pattern like that. And as soon as he finishes, we will cut and then start the production. So when they come here, they already have an idea of how to make fabric, but not the Soul Rebels design. So we give them the design, probably by sketch, and then they copy that design. It's really amazing the way they transfer the idea to fabric. For online orders, it's probably going to take 10 days to make and ship. So the process of making fabric design in a way that Soul Rebels is producing is time consuming. We follow the color trends, and that's where our creativity is going to come to meet the international market.